palms in by the sides, just being in a receptive state. Inhale and exhale. And then take a moment and just rise into the ball of the foot. Micro lifting the heel, letting the knee bend, staying in that receptive place. Inhale and exhale, and then put the heels down, let the legs straighten. We're going to rise into the toes again, moving into the ball of the foot. If the heel lift higher, let it lift. Sitting down into the toes again. Put the heel down and stand back tall. One more time, going into those toes. Inhale and exhale. Bending the knees, right? And you get to sort of feel that out, how the legs respond. Heels back down and back. We're going to take, go ahead, take your left foot, cross it over the right. Palms still facing forward, open in a receptive. You're going to take that left arm high and just take a tilt. Inhale and exhale. And then coming back. So we're playing a little bit with balance here. We're going to go directly to that opposite side, feet together, pick up that opposite foot. Oops. And we're going to reach the same arm of the leg that's crossed over. Breathing in, breathing out. Just a little bit of the beginning of dancer pose, just playing with that balance, and then coming back, uncrossing the legs. So this time we're going to let go of the hands, bring them down by the side, pull that knee up. And if you can go underneath that knee, pull that knee into your chest. So this is a big test. You got to be able to balance. If you have to have a chair there, make sure there's a chair there. Flex the foot that you've lifted or do a circle on it. And then let that foot come back to the ground. And then we're going to go straight to that opposite side, pushing into the standing leg, bringing that opposite leg up, knee up into the chest. Inhale and exhale. Rotate, flex that foot. And then coming back, let that foot come back down to the ground. We're going to go ahead and let the feet open a little bit. Open them out, sitting down into the thighs. You're going to come down into Malasana and just let those hips open up. And just leaning, you can lean into the hands or you can sit up erect. It depends on how the knees are feeling about this. Some people need to really lift the heels up. You can also put something underneath the heels. Inhale and exhale, palms touching the ground. Inhale and exhale again. And then from here, we're gonna play with this a little bit. You're gonna go ahead, lean to one side. Doesn't matter which one. This is my right leg extending. Let that leg extend. This is gonna be a big stretch on that inner thigh. If your heel goes to the ground, that's great. If it doesn't, just let your hands stay on the ground. Take a moment, flex that foot. So this is just a beginning practice. If you can think of that leg rotating so that the toes point up, the knees point up, and that hip drops a little bit. See if you can let that happen. If you think you can balance a little bit, go ahead and try that. You stay supported as you need to stay supported. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, we're going to pull that foot back in. We're going to shift back to the original Malasana. Give that a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. And then same thing on the opposite side, shifting the weight. See if you can let that leg open up. So again, be aware that extension out of that leg. This is a big stretch in here. Support yourself if you need to. Take a breath in and out. I'm not going to be able to balance on this side, but do the best that you can. If you can bring the body upright and stay on that heel, you go right ahead and stay on that heel. Inhale and exhale, flexing that foot. Inhale and exhale again. And I may find there's a lion coming through, so it's like a, you're going to go ahead, bring that other foot in. Come back to Malasana. We're going to push this back up into a standing pose. You can come into the toes, parallel the feet, hang it down, or come into a wide Utkatasana. You can put the hands on the legs if it feels appropriate. Do the cat and the cow. The neck and the hips can articulate. Stretch the throat out if that's appropriate. There we go. And then go ahead. You're going to bring this back standing. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do salutations. I want you to just make sure you're up and hold it to the ground. Inhale halfway. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead, stepping the right leg back first. Square this up so you can come up through warrior one, opening it. And then exhale. I'm giving you the option to do plank and a sphinx or a cobra. So if you want to move through the down dog, roll through the plank, go right ahead. Knees are going to drop, chest and heart. Hips will move into the ground, opening up sphinx or cobra. Stretch out that belly a bit. Exhale, release. Hands down by the armpits. Press this back, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. And then that opposite leg's going to step forward. So be right leg forward, opening up that warrior one. Here comes a dog with a ball. Inhale and open. We're going to exhale this, bring it back to the ground and step that back leg in. Forward fold. Inhale and exhale. No, no, no. And then coming through Utkatasana, bending in the knees, hips going back, stretching those arms out. Inhale and exhale. No, no. Get your ball, take it. And then hands back to the heart. In between these, we're going to do balance. So you're going to go ahead, pick up one of your feet. I'm picking up left foot first. Move. And see if you can find that balance point. If you can take one hand down and reach the other arm up, this is going to be a preparation for Nataraj, dancer. Inhale and exhale. Take a moment and push that arm that was in the air out in front of you, letting that quad stretch out. Standing tall if you can. And then release that leg. We're going to inhale, open it back out again. Buddy, no. Sit back down. The children are very busy. Exhale, release this. The left leg is going to step back. Warrior one again. Opening this out. Exhale when you're ready. Bring it back to the ground. Either straight to the plank or down dog. If you go straight to that plank, knees, chest and chin, moving the hips into the earth, opening up that cobra. Take a breath. Exhaling, release this. Pressing back. Just a short downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. And this time that opposite leg, left leg's going to step up. Right foot plants, opening up that warrior one again. As you exhale this, you're going to go ahead, release this back to the ground, stepping that right foot forward, forward fold. Utkatasana on the next inhale, opening it out, stretch it, Connect to the navel, and then stand this up tall. Hands are going to come right back down into that heart area. Take that right hand, bend that right knee, and for a few moments, stretch that left arm up above you. Inhale and exhale, and hold on to that right ankle. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just letting that quad stand as tall as you can on that front leg. Growing out of the hips. And then once again, bring this right back to center. We're going to do 2 more rounds of this. Inhale, opening. Exhaling, Utkatasana, or variation of. Exhaling, hands to the ground. We're going to do right leg back, left leg forward, opening up that warrior one. As soon as you feel the exhale, go ahead, take it back to the ground. And once again, either plank pose or down dog, inhaling in, exhaling, lowering, chest and heart, hips into the ground, opening up that cobra. Inhale and exhale. Oh, the flowers are so pretty. Exhale, release this down, press it back, downward facing dog. So the right leg will step forward one more time, opening it out. Take a big breath, and then exhale. Release this to the ground, step that back leg forward. So forward folding here, and then inhale to Utkatasana. And then grow it, stand it all the way high. And then release those hands. And we're going to do the right leg again. Right leg bends. Right hand comes back. If you can play with this, can you grab inside that ankle? The thumb would rest on the inside of the arch. Grow that arm out, and then once again, push that arm out in front of you. You don't have to stretch this. This is enough of a stretch if you're balancing. If you want to take it and push it out a little bit, push it out. Inhale and exhale, Nataraj. Finding the dancer in us, finding the one who moves through the world, moves through the universe, and is not bothered. And then letting that come back, hands back to the heart. Inhale and exhale. Opening it up one more time, Utkatasana. And release this to the ground. This time, right leg is going to step back again. Opening up that warrior one. We're just sticking with warrior one today. As you exhale the breath, you'll take it back to the ground. And plank or downward facing dog. And if you move through the dog, through the plank, exhaling, and then lowering, hips into the earth, extend through the legs, opening up the navel to the earth. The heart opens up to what's in front and before us. And then exhale, release this back. If you need a child's pose, take it. Otherwise, downward facing dog, take an extra breath there. And then you're going to go ahead. That left leg is going to step up and opening up that warrior one again. Again, it's not important how big and wide, it may adjust as you go. And then exhaling, release this to the ground. Step this leg forward. Forward fold again. Feet as comfortably close as you can get them. Utkatasana on the next inhale. Inhaling, exhaling. And then exhale, bring the hands back. And we're going to do one more Nataraj. Left hand's going to come back. And if you can grab the inside of the ankle, thumb is in that arch of that foot, stretch that right arm open. and then push it forward. Oh, he's bringing every ball that he can remember exists in this yard. Breathing in, breathing out. Push out if it seems appropriate. And then coming back, bring it back, release it, bring the hands to the heart. Take a moment here. Be receptive again, palms down by the hips, facing open. We're going to cross the ankle again. And this time we're going to be in Pataka. Right hand's going to be open, left hand's going to point towards the earth. The hip can support that left hand down. Inhale and exhale. You are in a giving out of the heart and receiving as if you're digesting everything that you can receive. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, you're going to go ahead. You're going to pull this right foot up and pull it into your chest. I'm making you balance today. Point and flex that foot or do that ankle circle, warming up those muscles that coat that calf and shin bone. And then I'm going to add one more component here. Opposite hand is going to grab the big toe. And if you think you can straighten, I want you to go ahead and straighten. If you can't, you can just keep that hand on the knee, place the other hand on your waist behind you. You can also twist this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Whee! Falling out of it is part of the practice. You have to let go sometimes. You have to surrender. And then releasing that back to the ground. And we're going to go other way. Left leg crossing. If you did this in the opposite direction, it's okay. Left is always the feminine. So now the feminine is giving it away. And the masculine, that right side, is receiving. Breathing in, breathing out. Pitaka Mudra. Breathing in, breathing out again. And then from here, we're going to go ahead, pull that knee up, find that balance point again. And again, if you think you can cross opposite foot to opposite hand, you can extend. The other hand can be right on that waist. Inhale and exhale. You do the best that you can. If you have to do here and here and here or here, you can twist it and look in the other direction. Inhale and exhale. There's always modifications that are available for you. Every time you exhale, if you're playing with this twist, you just exhale, twist a little more. Stand firmer into that standing leg as you inhale. And then you're going to go ahead. You're going to let that release. Inhale, raise the arms high. Bring them right back down to your heart. We're going to go back through Malasana. So you can heel toe the feet. Feet are going to turn out. Let those knees bend. And then see if you can let this drop towards the earth and come into Squatty Malasana. Breathing in, breathing out. Chin can drop in towards the chest, breathing in, breathing out. So from this Malasana, we're going to go ahead and we're going to sit down into the ground. And I'm going to do right leg straight. I'm going to add a little bit of padding underneath my sit bones. Doesn't have to be much, but it can be really useful. This left knee is going to come up, and I'm going to just hold on to it. I'm going to turn towards this foot, and just like when we were twisting standing, I'm going to try and reach for that toe. My hand has come back behind me, and I'm just reaching. Inhale and exhale. Active legs. So this leg is firmly pressing into the ground. This knee may come in, it may go out, whatever makes your balance happen easily. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So this is going to turn into a side bend. This left arm will come up and come down. This right hand will come to this knee, shin, or ankle, and then you'll push this left arm out and reach for that right foot. Inhale and exhale again. Inhale and exhale. Seeing how the body responds to it, make a connection through that navel area, especially on the exhalations. Let that navel pull in. And then sweep this back. And we're going to turn this into Janushirasana, so that right leg's going to be forward, left foot into the thigh. Reach out and go ahead and forward fold. And you can come into that Maha Asana or Mahamudra, or you can try and let your forehead go past your knee and towards your shin bone. Do the best you can, relax the jaw. Take about 4 more breaths. Connecting to the navel. We haven't let the belly go yet. I want you to stay connected to it. Did a bunch of abdominals yesterday, and I'm only going to do a tiny bit today. Breathing in, breathing out, a couple more times. And then sit yourself back up. Center yourself. Let this bent knee come up, extend it. Do a little bit of an adjustment, because you're going to go ahead and pull in that opposite knee. So you're going to open out to the side. You're going to pull this knee up, and we're going to go ahead and reach for that other foot. So again, you can keep the elbow there. Actually, no, it was the hand on the ground, excuse me. Hand on the ground, reaching for that toe. This knee can come in, it can push down into the ground. You could lift your hips if you're feeling it. I'm aiming for into this low back area. So the belly is twisting, the heart is twisting, but the neck is not strained. Shouldn't be strained at all. You may just end up reaching, breathing in, breathing out, pushing down into this foot as best you can, whether it goes to the inner edge or to that outer edge. Find out if you can access both. And then inhaling, coming back up. You're going to go ahead. You could put that in the room. It's okay. Thank you, sweetie. Inhale, hand on the ankle and reach all the way around. My sister has missed waiting on people so much. She just loves having guests. Inhale and exhale, reaching for that foot. You may get there, you may not get there. Breathing in, breathing out. And then sweeping that back, coming back up. And once again, we're going to give Janushirasana a try. Foot's going to come in. It can go into the thigh, into the heel, into the pubic bone. Inhale, reach. And once again, it's either going to be Mahamudra or head to knee pose. So you play with the edges of that. Breathing in, breathing out. In a lot of the old texts, there's an idea that you can reach enlightenment from this pose. Inhale and exhale. Couple more rounds, at least 2 or 3. And then you're going to go ahead, you're going to sit yourself back up and bring the legs back together again. Put them out in front of you for a moment here. Sit down onto the hands. I'm going to turn this around. And this doesn't work for everybody. I'm going to give 2 variations of this. Heels can dig into the ground. Hands can come back behind you. I tend to do fingertips open, and I'm in my fingers and not the heel of my hand. And that just depends on how the wrists are feeling, how warm the connective tissue is. You can either bend the knees and lift the hips, or just going to give this other variation, see if we can even do it. Pushing, pointing, and then lifting the hips here. So it's reverse Santolasana. So it's a reverse plank pose. This variation is just as valid. Breathing and breathing again. And then when you're ready to release this, slide it back down, sit back up, take a moment. And I want to do it one more time. So listen in on your breath, listen in on how the body's responding. And if you'd like to do the straight leg version, toes point. So toes are pointing, pushing into the hands, and see if you can lift. About 2 months ago, I could not do this. So little by little, it all comes to play. One more breath, whichever one you're doing. And then as you release this, you're going to go ahead and put it back on the ground. I want you to make sure you have sufficient padding underneath your back and your hips. I don't want you to feel cold. We're going to roll to the ground, bring the knees in, and just hug them in. And you can rock left to right. And from here, let's get a little bit of inversion time. Push those legs into the air. Inhale and exhale, arms resting by your sides or on the belly, on that breath rib cage area. Breathing, legs extended. We're going to do a forehead lift, shoulder lift, pull one knee in and extend that other leg. Head and shoulders releases to the ground, and then lift both legs back into that reverse, and then switch. Head and shoulders come up, pull the opposite knee in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift all the way out. Inhale and exhale, and bringing it back down again. Reaching, your foot may touch the ground, may not. Reach it all the way up, head and shoulders back. Take a breath. And then release it. Extend it out the other way. Pulling both back in, shoulders down. Relax the arms for a moment. Just let everything make a connection to the ground. You may find yourself wobbling the hips left to right. And then let those knees bend, let the feet come down. Come into a Badakanasana, soles of the feet together, and just let the hips rest. If you can let the arms rest, let them rest. You're only going to be here for a few rounds of breath, and then you're going to make a decision on how you'd like to rest, or if you need figure four. If figure four is in your stars, take about 3 more breaths here. Get connected to those breaths, find the pause. Maybe it's at the top of the inhale. Maybe it's at the bottom. If you'd like to do the figure four or set your legs up on a chair, bring those knees together. Figure four is ankle on the knee and go ahead and pick up that other foot. Some people loop through the triangle and then clasp around. Some people even go around their knee, but do what is valuable to you. I like to rock often, but you have to listen in, listen to your breath, notice if it's happening with ease, or if there's a little bit of sort of edge and excitement to it, because that happens sometimes. And then when you're ready to release that side, leg comes down and give it a try to the other side. You can loop through and hold on. You can leave the head and the shoulders up. And then slowly let that release. And again, anything else that might be necessary for you, I want you to pay particular attention. If you need to have your legs lifted and up on a chair, inhaling and exhaling. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.